Go to notch 1, and the train will run up to 4 miles an hour. Notch 2 is up to 10 miles an hour. 3 is 15. You can see the delays. So the momentum steps up one step at a time. You have the choice of 3 different delay routes, delay times for the momentum, and you can change those to make them either longer or slower. Go to speed step for 25 miles an hour. Now it's stepping up to 35 miles an hour. Next is 45 miles an hour. I have my speed steps set on my throttle and my loco so that speed step 45 is 45 mile an hour scale speed. This way, if I speed match my locos, not to each other, but to the throttle, so that they're all speed matched to the throttle. So 45 miles an hour is 45 on any of them. So that way, if I consist them, then they will all run the same speed when it's at 45. They all run 45 miles an hour. The throttle has 8 notches, and we're up to 7th notch, 55 miles an hour. You can determine these steps where you want them. They could be 5 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, 33 miles an hour. If each speed step is a true scale mile per hour. Now we're in the last notch, which I've chose to be 65 miles an hour on the layout. So the train is now traveling at 65 miles an hour scale speed. If I take the throttle and move it back a notch, it'll start stepping down. Don't know if you can see it here. So it's stepping down to 45. I actually went down 2 notches. Once it gets to 45, it's going to stay there. If I move it down a notch, now it's the target speed is 35. It's moving down to 35 and it stops. The momentum going down is also set by you. You decide how much momentum you want or don't want. If I come back up a notch, now we're up to 45, and it stepped up for 45 and now 55 because I actually have it in the 55 mile an hour notch. If I turn the throttle all the way off, now it's going to step down at the rate that I've determined, which is about a step a second. So it's stepping down through the thing 33, 32, 1, 0, 28, 27. So it will step all the way down to 0. If I pull the throttle up 1 notch to 4, it will stop at 4 miles an hour. So now it's traveling at 4 scale miles an hour. If I move the throttle all the way up to 65 in one thing, it's going to step up through the steps. And this is, I have this set as my lowest momentum. This would be like if the train was just the engine and a few cars. No, not very much load. Now if I want to stop the train right away, I can hit the emergency brake and it's going to stop the train pretty quickly. I can also turn the track power off or on with a button that will stop the train almost instantly in any other train that was running. So we'll run it back up to 65. Well, first we can go to neutral and reverse on the reverser. So reverse, neutral, and it tells you on the screen what you're in, forward, reverse, and neutral. It's also obvious by the handle. There is 3 different momentum delays that you can set up yourself. So right now we're on 0. I don't know if you could see it. That's the lowest one. Now I've just pushed and we're up to number 1. So now when the train, I'll just run it all the way up to 65, and no, I have to take the E-stop off because we had the E-stop on for that engine. So now it'll start stepping up through the speed steps. But it's stepping up through them a little slower. I can't remember. I think I had the first one set now. It takes it 14 or 15 seconds to go from 0 to 65. The second one I have set for a little over a minute. It's still not up to top speed. It's up to 62. So right now it's 65. So it did a little over a lap to get up to the top speed. I'll turn the throttle. I'll pull the brake on. There's numbers over here. It tells me I'm on braking 2, 3, 4. Each braking rate slows the train faster, and 5, which is the fastest. You also determine those braking rates. So there's some defined statements on the software that you set up to tell it what the brake delays are going to be, what the speed delays, and the acceleration rates are all defined by the user. I'm going to go ahead and push the button, and now we'll go to number 2, which is going to be the slowest delay. So I'll take the brake off, send forward, I'll pull the throttle all the way on, and we'll see where the train started. You can see it's moving a lot slower now. The numbers, if you can see the numbers on the throttle, are going a lot slower. So this, on this delay here, would be like, let's say we had a heavy train, you know, I don't know, maybe a 100-car train with a couple engines on in a consist. This throttle is really easy to set up a consist. So it still isn't full speed now. So now it's getting there. Now it's 65. So it took it about a lap and a half at this delay. So that's my slowest momentum. So the 3 momentums could simulate different trains, how much power, how much time it's going to take to reach full speed. So there's a throttle lever on the side here. Also, one of the buttons is the throttle lever. Another button turns the lights off and on. And another one sounds the bell. You can also set up all the function keys for a sound decoder with the keypad. Like that's the brake, coupler, the coupler. And you can page through and have up to 28 different functions via the keypad. If I put it in neutral, it's going to start stepping down through the speed, even though it's still got the throttle set. I can turn the throttle off and it's going to step down. There again, I can apply the brake and have it step down a lot faster. So there's 5 different brake levels that you can go through. Don't know if you can see them. It's on number 4 now. There's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and off. It's a fun throttle to work. You have to think about what you're doing, more like, I guess, what it would be like to run a real train, although I've never done that, never will. But you're not just turning a knob. This throttle still has an encoder knob on it that We're looking at setting the software up where you can switch between the encoder and the throttle pots up here, back and forth. If you're at some place you say, I just want to use the encoder, you'll be able to use the encoder. You can also download Peter's YT controller software, which then would not do anything with what's up on the top, the control stalk. It would just use the encoder and the keyboard like that throttle uses. The throttle makes you think about what you're doing besides just turning a knob to do something. You have to think about putting it in gear. You have to think about that you're not just going to a speed, you're applying notches, and the local's going to start moving through those notches up to whatever the notch is set at. Here it was 10 miles an hour. Now it's up to 15 miles an hour, and it's stepping up there. It's at 15 now. We'll step up to 25. Again, you define what these speed steps are. There's 8 speed steps, 8 notches on your throttle, similar to a real throttle. Hope you enjoyed the video. Post any questions you have below. Thank you.